Hi there, Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to another day of Christy's Beautiful Life, 30 Days of Sketches. We are nearing the end. We are at day 26, and this sketch is from Sarah Scraps, not Daisy. And I did something a little bit different with the photo placement. I kept the photo placement the same, but I decided I needed several photos to tell what I wanted to tell or to document what I wanted to document. So I am using a bunch of flip-flaps from Close to My Heart. So I have several photos, 12 to be exact, of a trip to the pumpkin patch with Noah and one of his little friends. And so here we are at the pumpkin patch. I am doing 3 flip-flaps for each stack of photos. So because there are 3, I need 6 photos, 1 for each side of the flip-flap. And those get mounted on the outside of the sheet protector when it goes in my album. So you're not going to see it go on the sheet protector today because I don't know if I need it on the front side or the back side because I haven't put it in the album yet and it's not in order with the others that go with it. So I'm not really sure if it's going to need to be front or back, so I don't want to adhere the flip-flaps without knowing that. But you're going to see how they kind of stack up here. I did pull out one of my Prima little ink edgers. I don't know even what these are called. They've been in my stash for quite some time. Don't even know if you can get them. Yeah, they are called a chalk edger. And the one I am using is called Fall Leaf, which is appropriately named for what I am doing. So I cut my papers to be 3x4 because the flip-flaps are 3x4, and my photos are slightly smaller because I am printing on my selfie, and they're even a little bit smaller than that because I print with a small border, and so they're not even the full size that you would get on a selfie because of that border that I print on it, which I prefer because I know I get the whole photo that way. If you print it with the borders off, sometimes the edge of the photo gets cut off at the perforated edge or at the top or the bottom of the photo. So yeah, that's what I am doing here. I'm just kind of getting all my papers set up and I'm inking those edges and going back to back. I did realize that I put one of these photos on wrong, so when you flip it up, the photo will be upside down, but I did fix that. You're going to see here. There we go. It's upside down, and the same is true in the prior stack, so I'm going to go back and fix that as well. So at the end, you're going to see how the flip-flaps kind of work a little bit better. I know I'm not doing a great job of showing you now, but towards the end of the video, you will see the way I aligned them. I don't know what is the right way, but I aligned them so one opens like a book, the other one opens the opposite direction, and then the last one opens up. Hopefully that makes sense. When you adhere those to the sheet protector, all of the white strips that you see on there, those get peeled off. The white part is just the backing for the adhesive that is on there. So I am going to pull out some different papers. I've kind of been using a lot of simple stories for this particular trip. You've seen me do other layouts for this day if you've been watching my channel. And I am sticking with this really old simple story stuff. I think this paper is from their 24/7 collection. I think that was like, I don't know, 2013 or 14. And then I have a lot of ephemera from the Sweater Weather, or I think Pumpkin Spice might be the other one. Those 2 collections, and they're all kind of mixed together at this point, so I don't know which ephemera is from which collection. Did a little digging and I found a pencil. This is actually Noah's pencil. I was looking for one with a plain old red eraser. All of the ones I have are like the white erasers that are either narrow, like they go on the end of a mechanical pencil. I was looking for something a little bit more standard pencil size, so I raided Noah's jar of colored pencils, and I am using some gold paint, and I am just using the eraser to dip into the paint and put it on the page. And I'm trying to find out if I have this paint handy right here so I could tell you what it is, but I don't. I believe it is from Prima, but I could be wrong. I think it is a Finnabair product, which is Prima. And I don't think I even show you what it is. And it's super old as well. So again, I don't know that you can get it, but any gold paint would work. And so I am just using a piece of scrap paper to stamp that ink off the edge so I don't get it all over my desk. Well, I did this layout quite a while ago because that's my desk before I removed my cutting mat. So in the sketch, it does have this detailing around the left-hand side, kind of looks like a semicircle. And then there is some detailing over on the right-hand side, which in her sketch is more flowers than these dots. But I decided to bring the dots over instead because I wasn't really sure what I was going to put there. If I did end up putting flowers, it doesn't matter. It would just kind of cover the dots up. Now, I didn't want white splatter all over my layout, but I did want it over those gold dots. So I just used a paper towel that I freehand cut to kind of mask it off so I don't get that white paint everywhere. And this is just plain white Dylusions paint. It is their white linen, and it has a little bit of water mixed in so that I can actually just splatter it really easily. So there's my placeholders for where my stacks of photos are going to go. I am going to decorate that as well because I don't want to open up that last flip flap and then see nothing on the page. I want something else to be there. And that's actually where my journaling, I'm going to have some decorative pieces in there, but I also want to be able to put my journaling in that area. So I thought I would use this banner that says autumn, and I'm looking for some pieces to go along with it. Spoiler alert, autumn doesn't stay there. I completely end up changing that out. So bear with me. We will get there. While I kind of play around with this, I wanted to remind you that this is a series that we've been doing all month long, and there are a bunch of other people playing along with us. So go and check out their channels. They are down below in my description box, and you can get to their videos easily that way. So I decided to go ahead and adhere those background pieces down so that my placeholders are situated where I want them. And I'm going to leave a little bit larger of a gap between the two so that when the flip-flaps are on top, they have plenty of room. Normally, my photos are much closer together. This is about how they normally are, but I'm going to move that bottom one down a bit because I felt like then they were so close together that they would interfere with each other. And so I wanted to not have an issue when I go and put it in the sheet protector. So I automatically just moved it down a bit more. And that's looking pretty good. And so then I decide I'm going to go ahead and embellish those two background pieces with the idea that I will leave room for plenty of journaling. And I really end up liking this frame, and I know that brings in the cream a little bit, but that's okay. I don't mind that at all. I don't mind mixing cream and white. I feel like cream is just another color, like orange or red. And, you know, if you're going to add it in one place, you might as well add it in more than one place. And the little fox has some cream on him. That sign where it says apple cider has some cream on it. So it's all good in my book. So I feel like most of my journaling will probably be on the bottom of the two areas there because there's more room. I might start it up in the corner, in the upper left-hand corner, and then complete it down there. And then as I was going through all of my bits and pieces, I found all of these little leaves that were in one of these ephemera packs. And I started pulling those out, and I'm just going to scatter those about those gold dots so it looks like just a random falling of leaves, if you will. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere the frame down. I did trim it just a tiny bit so that the orange outline of the white piece still shows a little bit because I wanted to keep that continuity between all of the photos and the part that's the bottom one. And then I really like the signpost there. So the signpost and the pumpkin are going to go there. And I'm pretty happy with the way that looks. And this is kind of how my layout's going to look to start with. Um, except that piece that says autumn was not wide enough for me. It was cute there, but I felt like it needed to attach to something on the opposite side, and it just wasn't wide enough. So I pulled it off, and I am pulling out my Liquitex Gold acrylic ink, and I'm gonna brush a little bit of that onto the leaves. The nice thing about the acrylic ink is that it is a lot more transparent than the paint, so it just gives a hint of gold on the leaves. It doesn't like saturate them and make them completely gold. So I did pull out this wood veneer piece from MK Gunn in her Etsy shop, and I just love the little tractor, so I thought I'm gonna keep the tractor as a as though it was the hayride. I mean, we were actually pulled by a tractor, so I thought that was really cute, and so why not use it? I've been using a lot of the wood veneer on my other layouts documenting this particular trip to the pumpkin patch, and so it also brings continuity throughout those layouts. So I decided I would try the entire layout flipped around. It's not going to stay this way. I'm just going to tell you right now. I thought it might be nice looking like the pumpkins came from the pumpkin patch that Noah is standing at, but now my tractor's driving off the page and Noah is looking off the page, and so I pretty quickly decide that I'm going to flip it back the other way and just go from there. I did use my scallop punch from X-Cut to trim the bottom of that white piece of paper. I have those papers. It's just a 4.5 by 6.5 inch photo mat that I buy at Hobby Lobby. It comes like 100 per pack, and I buy it when their Paper Studio stuff goes half off. And I don't feel bad about cutting into a 12 by 12 just to back a photo. I can just reach for these little odds and ends or these little tiny mats and back my photos, and then I can use it to do stuff like this. I'm not cutting into a 12 by 12 just to make a little tiny border, and then I have a whole bunch of extra paper in my scrap bin. I don't feel bad about throwing away the excess or anything like that. So again, just simple thing at Hobby Lobby. They have them in black, white, and cream, and I have them in all three colors, although I don't use the cream very often. So I'm just going to stretch it across the entire page so it looks like a shelf rather than just on one side, and I like that. It balances it a little bit better, especially because the trailer there with the pumpkins in it and that banner across the top added quite a bit of weight to the right hand side of the photo, or the layout. But I like it. I really like how it looks. I'm just going to use some glue to adhere the pumpkins to the wood veneer piece there, and then I will use some, I think I'm using Zots, but it could also be glue dots because I use those interchangeably. I don't really have a preference of one over the other. And I just feel like they hold the glue or the wood and the acrylic down better than a liquid glue does. I did trim that little flag pennant banner thing down just because it was so tall. I didn't want it to stick up quite as far. And then I'm just going to glue down all of those little leaves. And I'm adding this little piece on the outside of my top photo stack, and I'm going to show you here how these open up so that you can kind of get a glimpse as to how I am planning to adhere them to the outside of my page protector. And that's how it's done. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you have questions or comments, you can leave those down below. I will get back to you as quickly as I can. I don't respond daily, but I do respond to all of my comments, and I really enjoy reading them, so thank you for that. If you're not already subscribed, please consider subscribing and hitting the bell for notifications, and if you enjoyed the video, I wouldn't mind if you hit the like button too. Don't forget to check out everyone else who is playing along. I will be back tomorrow with another layout, and I will see you then. Bye-bye.